And Kendrick Lamar just takes another W. This man is I guess he's voicing over and in a Gatorade commercial. Can we get a KBD award for Kendrick Lamar? And I know there's a lot of people who wonder why people so passionately are in support of Kendrick Lamar, or feel like these moments are so meaningful and impactful to us and the entirety of the culture. For those of you who wonder why, I take you back to when hip hop wasn't included. I take you back to moments with Will Smith protesting the Grammys. I take you back to the obvious and clear, as far as funds going distributed wise, we were getting the least for so long. Acting numbers we're doing, accolades we're doing, they're not trying to show us. I'll take you back to Michael Jackson finally being accepted onto MTV. So when you see Kendrick, who is somebody so purely hip-hop, championing hip-hop, going to all these places, we're going to all these places. That's how our culture works. That's how all of us is traveling. So for those of you who don't understand why we need to celebrate moments like this, you might not be like the culture. You might not be like us. Come on, hit that thumbs up button. We popping off.
Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59.
I know Eagles fans is geeked. Luka!
How much are you willing to lose? Take the 65 gig. Losing steam, losing players, losing sweat. The solution?
A drink that hydrates better than water.
What you talking about? No. Like I said, literally, now we're going to be having hip-hop being the soundtrack of these things. You know, those, if you look back at, the 2000s, 90s, pop and rock was everything. If you look at most, theme songs of television shows and shit like that, it's usually going to be pop or rock. Moments like this allows hip-hop more inclusion, which then allows more potential earning possibilities for other artists, for other songs like that in different moments. You also look at it's you could hear this shit as somewhat of an allegory for what, Kendrick has went through, as well as with Gatorade and all the athletes on the shit. But if you know their stories, but what Kendrick specifically has gone through for this run has been insane. This beef, post-beef, Super Bowl, all this shit has been insane. GNX has been insane. So it really feels like he's speaking about his actual life. And maybe, the people who wrote this they ain't no suckers. They know what they're doing.
65 gig. Losing steam, losing players, losing sweat. The solution?
A drink that hydrates better than water.
So they can work more, sweat more. Because when you do that,
come on.
Come on! You can inspire generation after generation.
And it's not only that. When we're talking about inclusion and shit, you look at what's happening for female sports, right? And I never act like I'm a nigga who was watching female basketball really, besides sometimes NCAA, sometimes based off of who I'm with, but I don't really like college sports in general. But anyways, if you see what's going on, look at how many WNBA players were on here. Look at, obviously, Serena Williams been that nigga. Don't even disrespect the queen. She been that nigga. But look at all the female, everybody, I feel like we're moving towards a more inclusive, everybody gets in world, where everybody has a chance. And I understand as and in case I've got to pick his words wisely, because I want to say white, but I'll just say I understand for people of the percentage of the group, predominantly white, who have always had opportunities, chances that not all of us had, right? You wouldn't understand that. Nobody's saying that niggas want a handout. Hip hop isn't saying that we want a handout. We are just saying, black people aren't saying they just want a handout. We're just saying that. Just at least give us a chance. At least when I come to the job interview, just interview me like you was gonna interview the other nigga. And if he answers the questions better, hire that nigga. Now, I'm not saying every job does it, but I'm just hire him. He got that. But in the chance where I really am talking that shit, getting it done, just give me the same chance. Platform my music the way you're platforming this other music so that if my song deserves a Grammy, it can win it. But if disproportionately I'm hearing Taylor Swift, it's or other artists, it makes it unfair. So then you'll have artists like Nick Grant. You'll have unsung, just some of the best people ever who don't ever get a chance to be showcased because you just didn't even get, or doesn't get a chance to compete because you didn't ever give them the chance. So as you're seeing, as more female athletes are being put in Gatorade commercials, and funny enough, they're getting a lot of fans. Funny enough, a lot of people are latching to them because sport, like anything, is story. So if I can get invested in your story, I'll get invested in the characters in the story. If you don't show me the story, I can't. And especially with the narratives they put on it, it made it hard to enjoy. But now you're just giving everybody a better chance. And I just feel like that is a closer place to be in the world. And I know that a lot of people are just don't look at the world right. And don't realize how fucked up it has been for a lot of people, a lot of groups of people for a long time. And if we could move towards a world where just everybody at least gets a chance, that's all the Dipper's saying, nigga, we'd probably be in a better place. But niggas, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't gonna talk about it.
Because when you do that, you can surpass the hype. You can inspire generation after generation. You can compete against anything, even gravity. Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
And I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Damn.
Expectations.
Wait, is his name Shador or Sharif? Queso, do not be wild. I told you, I ain't tapped in with the motherfucking, what's it called? College sports at all. But Deion Sanders' son, that's another person, you know, who with just like such a dope story. And like, I believe that what I love about sports is story. And the investment, knowing that everything is just a symbol, as anything is, for something else and something greater. And there's the force of evil versus the force of good. And it's like my team versus your team, and they go to battle. There's all that dope shit. And you see his story and the idea of somebody, I promise you, somebody coming up after somebody else, right? So like my brother Screw, then here comes Queso. So you're going to know him, and then you're going to know me. At first, there is an extra hurdle of you're going to just want to pit it against it. You're going to want to go, I like this better, or I like this better. Oh, he doesn't do this, how he does this. So then you get some kind of comparisons that creates a whole unique struggle, which there wasn't, there's also there's a lot of benefits to that too. I'm not going to play because there's a lot of niggas, you might like me better because that nigga might share my shit out. You might have heard me from that. So I'm not saying that like it's like all bad. It's actually dope. But it does create a unique set of circumstances that he's living up to. But he's living up to them the way the Dipper's living up to his. I'm showing you, oh no, he really is that good. And regardless of how I might have arrived to the dance, I cha-cha with the best of them. And that is another dope story. I tell anybody, if you are not into sports, attempt to look at it through that lens, nigga. I tell you, that shit gonna hit different because you start realizing, like, nah, man. LeBron James is a symbol of my time. He ain't just a motherfucking person playing basketball. It is my time is playing right now. That's why it hurts so much when they win or lose. You really fighting with some shit.
Or even yourself. You wouldn't understand. So how much sweat are you willing to lose? That's how you
Hey, that nigga, yeah. And how come every time you see Kendrick, this nigga is doing burpees? I am telling you right now. So in my last reaction, we asked ChatGPT who will win in a fight, Kendrick Lamar or Drake. And they said Kendrick will wash that nigga. Now, I'm going to be real with you. And if that was in the Drake and Ross fight shit, we asked ChatGPT. Kendrick, the fact that he thinks doing burpees is cool, yeah, that nigga's a murderer. That nigga is going to put hands, feet, nigga, he gonna claw your eye out. He gonna do that. A nigga who'll do this is deadly. So you gotta be careful of these little niggas right here,
How
man.
much you willing to win? Peekaboo. Peekaboo.
Yeah, peekaboo. Man, this was a certified vibe check. Comes another reaction by me right here. Or no, music video by me right there. Bow, click on it. And my new album, Rental Red.
I Peter Act. I remember we was pouring them. The way we double deuces, you think that I bang with phone numbers. African, so when the packs came in, we was exporting them. Niggas capping, if I wasn't rapping, be extorting them. Bitches eating dick. Nigga, we don't go with them.
Benz is out now on all streaming platforms. If you've watched this video this long, drop clam chowder in the comments and go check out Rental Red Benz. KBD family, love y'all. Salute. We out this hoe.